Hello beautiful people, my name is Yola. Welcome back to my channel. By today's title, I'll be discussing how to access abundance. Now, I'm not a professional, but this is what I have been learning this past month as I have been very intentional and very in tune with abundance and believing that I am abundant, right? I feel like I've seen so many videos of people explaining how you have to remove your limiting beliefs and do all this work and all this stuff. And that's some people's videos. I've also watched other people's videos who are like, you don't have to do any of that as long as you change your self-concept, which is who you believe yourself to be and how things react to you in a sense, right? I've taken self-concept to mean like affirmations that tell you I have everything I want. I get whatever I want. Everything always works out for me. Like I couldn't imagine things not working out for me. And of course, only good things happen to me. Those are the self-concept beliefs that people suggest you instill within yourself, which then honestly, based on my experience, they do impact the way you walk, the way you hold your body, the way you talk, the way you act, everything. I have saved a 5-minute self-concept rampage by Manifested Finesse It Gaia. Her channel name is Manifested Finesse It, but her actual name is Gaia. I ended up screen recording her video and I saved it to my phone. And some days when I don't feel the most empowered version of myself, or when I start feeling kind of like, the word I want to use is off, and what that basically means is I don't feel my best, right? In those moments, I play her rampage because it'll get me like hyped. I used to kind of like a hype, and it's like, yeah, I do have whatever I want. I am not without anything that I want. Like I'm not lacking. It's her drilling into me information that benefits me. That's how I take it. Because at the end of the day, the stories we tell ourselves are powerful. They impact us. They dictate what we do next, which is why so many people will tell you, stop telling yourself the old stories. Stop telling yourself about the past because you're not going that way. You're not going that way. Stop bringing up stories that you no longer want to align with the version of yourself that you're becoming. Stop. Who do you want to be? What is the new story? What's the harm in you believing the new story? That's the thing. The mind wants to protect us from whatever seems harmful, but the truth is the mind will protect you from a lot of new and unknown things. Simply because all it has is all that is known. All it has is the past information. It can't tell you what's next. It wouldn't know. You gotta read up what's next. You gotta meet new people. You gotta go somewhere new. You gotta experience something new. That's how you find out if you like something or if you don't like it. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this or for how many different things I'm going to say it. But this message is honestly first for me, and then I hope that it's helpful for everybody else. But what I've been learning is that slow down. How to access abundance? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. What does slow down mean? It means relax. What does relax mean? It means take your time and spend your time on purpose in everything that you do. What does that mean? It means have a morning routine. What will your morning routine consist of? Whatever it is that you want it to consist of. The point is, as you are going through your morning routine, you are consciously, intentionally spending the time to do the things that you want to do. Right? Whether that's take a shower, do your hair, do your makeup, make yourself a nice hot cup of tea, read, write, meditate, whatever it is that you do. You spend that time comfortably, freely, happily, in a relaxed state on yourself, for yourself, by yourself. You are slowing down. What I realized is that for many years of my life, I was just in this hustle and bustle mode where it was just always go, 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 go. Would have to wake up at a certain time because I gotta go to school. And then the second that I wake up, it's just chaos is what it would feel like. It's like I woke up and now it's like, is there anybody in the bathroom? Because I lived in a full house. And then it's like, okay, like if somebody's in the bathroom, what can I do in my room? Is my backpack packed? Is there lunch? Is there breakfast? Do we have ingredients for breakfast? It's like so many things going through my mind. Did I use the washer last night to wash my clothes? Did I even remember to put them in the dryer? Or do I need to run down and put them in the dryer now? Like, literally thinking back on my past life, all I think is chaos. It was just so much rushing all the time. And if I wasn't rushing and I had finally gotten into a space where I would relax, and I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had a lot of moments in my life where I got to relax. I feel like even my relaxing seemed rushed. Like it would seem like the day off is the day where I try to cram all the fun things in. So then it's not even like a day of rest or relaxation. It's a day of recreation and constant movement, which was also tiring and fulfilling. But my point is, it was just like this ongoing just run. I had a teacher who told me, like, if you ever get home late, the smartest thing for you to do is take a shower and just go to bed. And now that I'm an adult, I get what he was saying. He was basically just saying that if you get home and get yourself to sleep and get as much rest as you can, to get up early in the morning, then you could spend your time in the morning more consciously, more intentionally to do the assignment that you need to do with a fresh brain and with, good sleep, and make sure that you pack your bag the way that you want to and do all those things. And it's like, as a kid, I didn't understand why I should wake up early. And I feel like I honestly didn't get it because I thought waking up early was a waste of time. I didn't understand the gift of getting up early and the fact that you actually give yourself time. And what I'm realizing is that I'm able to access so much more abundance now. I have always been abundant. We are all abundant. We are all allowed to be abundant. We are all allowed to access our abundance whenever we want. Yet, in a way, it is like a mindset. You have to be set on allowing yourself to have whatever you want, allowing yourself to have the time to do the things that you want to do, and allowing yourself to spend the time freely. You have to understand that you can't control time. All you can do is control your reaction to it, your response to it. So as it's going, it doesn't make any sense for you to be rushing with it because you can't outrun it. So what I'm learning to do is to relax into it and to allow it to go while I go. I'm allowing it to do what it's gonna do while I choose to do what I'm gonna do. What I have realized with slowing down is the importance in the details. Abundance is in the details. That means that the small things add up. If you have been watching my videos, you keep hearing me say this phrase, the small things add up, and I use it for so many different explanations. In this particular situation, what I'm saying is that when you are able to slow down time and to be intentional to the second, to the minute, and that doesn't mean that you are doing something every second, every minute. What it means is that you are observing what is happening on a deeper level. For example, one thing that I have learned is that where I live, there are free meals available to feed anybody who needs to be fed every single day of the week, except for Sundays, right? Sundays are kind of like rest days here. So a lot of businesses close and people don't show up, and So Sunday is like, you figure that out. So more often than not, meals come with coffee, right? Because the population that's being fed are adults more often than not. And coffee is a really popular drink worldwide. Like, people really love coffee. I am not a coffee drinker. But what I've started thinking is that I could bless somebody with the cup of coffee that I wouldn't drink. Right? It's a free coffee. What I ended up doing recently, this past week, is I ended up testing a theory of, I'm gonna try to bless somebody with this coffee. Just because it's a free coffee. I know a lot of people love coffee. I'm gonna take this coffee to a person that I feel like would enjoy it, right? So I took the coffee and I gave it to this man. Take him the coffee and I said, this is for you. You can have it. And he drinks the coffee, says thank you, and goes about his day. And that small action, right? That small action of me taking something that I don't necessarily like, but I know other people would like, would value, could use, and me giving it to somebody was an act of kindness. It didn't require much thought. All it really required was action. And that action led to there being a reaction. And what happened is the person ended up coming back to me with this whole bag of groceries and was like, here, this is for you. And I was like, what? Abundance. I was like, what? For me? And he's like, yeah, I actually don't like these things. And he was like, but do you like them? And I was like, yeah, I like what you have in that bag. And then he handed it to me. I was like, okay, then you can have it. And I was just like, I gave you coffee that I don't like coffee. I gave you coffee because I know you like coffee, and you give me stuff that you don't like that I like. And you gave me a lot. And it's like, whoa. It was in the details. It was such a small act that I literally thought of spontaneously. Like, literally, I was just walking by and I saw that they were giving out free coffee, and I saw my friend, and I'm like, I know I don't drink coffee, but the coffee is free, right? It's hot, and everybody's only allowed 1 cup of coffee. So I was like, I can use my presence and the fact that every person is allowed to get a free coffee, and I could give double to this person. And I never thought of it as giving double till right now when I'm recording it. Like, that makes sense. I doubled my presence, and my action doubled his blessing. Because he may have thought this 1 cup of coffee is a blessing, and then I doubled it. And because I doubled his blessing, he brought groceries back to bless me. To bless me. Now, another situation that I want to talk about. I'm kind of weird when it comes to eating meat. I eat meat, but I don't eat meat every day all the time. Like, I'm not that girl, right? There was a time in 2023 where I was not eating meat. I was basically a pescatarian person, which means I only ate fish, and I wasn't eating chicken or beef or pork. So recently I was given some sandwiches, and when I tell you these sandwiches had like this thick sausage, like when I tell you the sausage was thick, I'm not kidding. It was this thick, round, like about this size sausage in the middle of bread with cheese and mayonnaise and so on and so forth. And I was thankful for the sandwich, right? But I didn't know that the sausage was gonna be that big. So I took 1 bite and I was just like, like, this is too much meat for me. Like, I don't want to consume this. So then I was like, okay, but like, I am hungry. So like, what am I gonna do? And I was like, let me just take the meat out and just eat the rest of the sandwich without the meat. Like, it'll still go down, the bread is fire, like everything's gonna be delicious. So I did that. I ended up having 2 big sausage meats. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna feed animals today, or I'm gonna give this that I say I don't want a purpose. And what ended up happening is I gave it to my neighbor. My neighbor has this big dog, and I know that dogs love like sausage and meat and stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna give this to my neighbor. I gave it to my neighbor. And my neighbor said, for me, like, is this like, and I was like, yeah, for your dog, like, you give it to your dog. He was like, okay, thank you, right? That small act, it was a small conscious act that I had where I was like, I'm not gonna eat this, but I'm not gonna throw it away because this is useful, and I'm gonna be intentional with who I give it to and how I serve it. My neighbor ended up giving me pie. He ended up giving me candy. He had a whole bag of candy that he doesn't eat because he's a very old man. And then he ended up giving me papaya, and he ended up giving me this big stack of books. Honey, if you're not keeping up with me, what I'm telling you is, it's not about the things that I was given. It's about abundance, right? It's about the fact that I may have solved a problem for him without even knowing it. I didn't know if his dog had dog food that night. I didn't think about that. I thought, you know, this meat is good, it's cooked, animals love it, and I want to help somebody. And I remembered he had a dog, so I gave it to him to help ease his burden of feeding his dog for a day. And he was so grateful that he shared his abundance with me. It's in the details. And the only way I have been able to access abundance is by slowing down. In my opinion, it really is kind of like thinking slower. Because the me who rushes, I would not pick up coffee. Because I'm like, I don't care if it's free, I don't drink it, I'm not picking it up. But the me who's learned to slow down is like, I could pick up the coffee because it's free. And then I could move in a way that is loving. And I can offer this coffee to a stranger with a smile and say, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great morning. It didn't cost me anything other than my presence, my action, my kindness. And I don't expect anything in return. That's also what I'm realizing with abundance is you just do what you can, and you do with thought and intention, and then you let it go. Because even if it doesn't come back to you through the person that you gave to, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. And what I've learned is that it doesn't have to be big actions. It doesn't have to be big actions, which is why I'm saying it's all in the details. Personally, I feel like my actions were so small, and I don't even know how I reached a point where I just switched my actions and I just decided to think more broadly, more selflessly, right? Because like, I'm not gonna eat it, but I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm going to give it a purpose. It's like giving things a purpose. Slow down and focus on the details. Slow down so that you could see more of what's happening. Another thing that happened to me abundance-wise is that I was sitting in a restaurant, and I'm not gonna lie, I was thirsty that day. And I had like a slight thought go through my head, like it would be so great if I ended up, receiving a drink or something. And I let the thought go because I literally wasn't thinking too hard about it. Then all of a sudden, this guy popped up beside me. He's like, excuse me, I actually ended up buying an extra soda. Would you like it? And I was like, yes, thank you. And in my head, I was like, what the heck is going on? what the heck is going on? Even right now, as I'm thinking of, I'm like, I don't know what I did. And you don't always have to do in order to receive abundance. That's another cool thing. But in my head, I was just like, wow. I was blessed because I've been moving like a blessing. Abundance. I give what I can. I give with, the intention of helping, and it comes back. It comes back. In closing, the question that you may need to ask yourself, and the question that I ended up asking myself is, what am I sowing? What are you sowing? Because you reap what you sow. And what I have decided for myself is that each day that I wake up, my new intention is to help someone on purpose. My new intention is to be a small blessing to somebody on purpose. Each morning, I'm gonna get the free coffee that's being offered, and I'm gonna find somebody to offer the coffee to. It doesn't have to be the same person. I'm gonna find different people to offer the coffee to with a smile, and I'm gonna wish that they have a great day, and I'm gonna just leave. That's gonna be my new routine, spreading my abundance. And that is amazing. That is a blessing, right? Because you never know what that person is going through. You never know if that person needed that extra cup of coffee. I promise you, that is how I've accessed abundance. Seriously. Every time I experience abundance, I just shriek and scream aloud, I am so abundant. Wow, that was so easy. That was so fun. I feel like abundance is fun. You don't lose anything by moving in an abundant manner, as long as you are thinking in a broad way. How to access abundance? Focus on slowing down so that you're able to see the overflow that already exists. We access abundance when we realize that there's more than enough. There's more than enough oxygen for us to breathe until we die, and then for a new generation of humans to breathe the same air and they still will have oxygen. There's more than enough for us all to eat. There's more than enough. So the moment that you open yourself up to receive the more than enough, regardless of if you like the more than enough that you're receiving, what I've learned to do is that when I receive that which I don't like, but is a part of the abundance that I am attracting, then it gives me a reason to bless somebody. I love to bless people with stuff that I don't like, because they may love it. Anyways, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that it was informative. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Peace.